Guys, my name is Alfred Sarmiento from BSIT 2105. So for today's vlog, I'm going to discuss and give you the summaries form of our chapter 5. So for our chapter 5 topic, the topic for chapter 5 is internet. So we all know that internet is a huge part for our society from these days because internet gives you an easiest way on how to access internet through local and global access. So, in internet, there is also a data encapsulation. In data encapsulation, we have the frame delimiting, address, and the error detection. While in our media access control, we have the control of frame placement on and off the media and media recovery. So for our frame delimiting, the framing process provides import delimiters that are used to identify a group of bits that make up a frame. The next one is the addressing. The encapsulation process contains the layer tree, PDU, and also provides for data link layer addressing. For error detection, each frame contains a trailer used to detect any errors in transmissions. So for the second responsibility of max of layer is the media access control. So media access control is responsible for the placement of frames of the media and the removal of frames from the media. So for the internet evolution. So uh, for the internet last 1973, internet was invented by Dr. Robert Metcalf of Xerox Corp. In 1980, DIX standard Internet 2 was described by Digital Equipment Corp. Intel and Xerox related a standard for NMBS Internet over coaxial cable. In 1983, IEEE 802.10 base dash 5 is described by 10 Mbps Internet over coaxial cable. So for our internet frame fields, we have the preamble and the start frame delimiter fields. So this preamble has 7 parts and the start frame delimiter, or as we call the SFD, also called as the start frame. Start frame has 1 bit. Uh, so SFDF fields are used for synchronization between the sending and receiving devices. The first 8 bytes of the frame are used to get the attention of the receiving codes. So for our destination MAC address, this 6 byte field is identified for the intent receive. Next one will be the source MAC address. So this has a 6 byte field identifies the frame originality and IC or interface must be a unicast address. So for our ether type, this 2-bit field identifies the upper layer protocol encapsulated in the Ethernet frame. Common values are in hexadecimal 0 times 800 for IPv4, 0 times 86DD for IPv6, and 0 times 806 for ARP. So for our data, this field has 46 to 1500 bits, contain encapsulated data from a higher level, which is a generic layer 3 PDU, or more commonly an IPv4 communicate. So for our FCS, or as we call the frame check sequence field, uh, this FCS has 4 bytes. This this also it is actually used to detect errors in a frame, usually cyclic redundancy check. Sending device includes the result of CRC and FCS field of the frame. So for our MAC address and hexadecimal, MAC address is a 48-bit binary value expressed as 12 hexadecimal digits for bits hexadecimal. So for our hexadecimal conversions, Number conversions between decimal and hexadecimal values are straightforward, but today, dividing or multiplying by 16 is not always convenient. So for our internet MAC address structure, we have two types. We have the organizationally unique identifier or the OUI, and the other type will be the vendor assigned or the NIC interfaces. So for our OUI, we have the 24 bits, 6 hexadecimal digits, 0060-2F Cisco. While for our vendor assign or the NIC interfaces, we have the 24 bit, 64 hex digits, 3A-07-BC, and the particular devices. So the MAC address is often referred to as a burden in others as the BIA. Because historically, this address burned into RAM or the read-only memory on the NIC. This means that the address is coded into ROM chip permanently. So the for the code for the IP config call, this command can be used to identify the MAC address of an internet adapter. So for our unicast MAC address, unicast MAC address is the example we have the source that's sending you to one receiver. Our broadcast MAC address is one source but there is a lot of receiver. Multicast, one source but there's two receiver. So for our switch fundamentals, in our switch fundamentals, there's a device wherein there's four holes in your back of the device. These are what you call the switch for the internet. There's only four switches for that device. So in our frame forwarding methods on Cisco switches, we have the store and forward and the cut through. So in our store and forward switches receives the entire frame and computes the CRC. If the CRC is valid, the switch looks up the destination address which determines the outgoing interface. The frame is then forwarded out the correct port. By the cut-through, switches forwards the frame before it is entirely received. At a minimum, the destination address of the frame must be read and before the frame can be forwarded. In our cut-through switching forwards the frame before it is entirely received. At a minimum, destination address of the must be read before the frame can be forwarded. So there are two variants of cut-through switching. These are the fast-forward switching and the fragment-free switching. So for fast-forward switching, offers the lowest level of latency. Fast-forward switching immediately forwards a packet after reading the destination address. While the fragment-free the switch stores the first 64 bytes of the frame before forwarding. Fragment-free switching can be viewed as a compromise between a store and forward switching and fast-forward switching. So for our memory buffering on switches, there are two types. The two types are the port-based memory and the shared memory. So in our port-based memory, frames are stored in queues that are linked to specific incoming and outgoing ports. While in our shared memory buffering deposit all frames to a common memory buffer which all ports on the switch share. So for duplex and speed settings, we have two types of duplex. We have the full duplex and the half duplex. So for our full duplex, both ends of the connection can send and receive simultaneously. And the half duplex, only one end of the connection can send one at a time. So there are the two types of duplex. So for the destination, the same network There are two primary addresses assigned to a device on a Ethernet LAN. So there are the physical address, the MAC address, and the logical address, which is the IP address. So for our physical address, used for internet and IC to internet and IC communication on the same network. And the logical address used to send the packet from the original source to the final destination. So the destination remote network was the receiver of the source. So it could there are two addresses. These are the destination MAC address and the source MAC address. So for the destination MAC address, the MAC address of the Ethernet NIC, which will be either the MAC address of the final destination device or the router, while the source MAC address, the MAC address of the sender's Internet NIC. So there the ARP request messages includes the target IPv4 address. This is the IPv4 address that requires a corresponding MAC address. While the target MAC address, this is the unknown MAC address and will be NT in the ARP request messages. The ARP request is encapsulated in an internet frame using the following header. These are the destination MAC address, the source MAC address, and the type MAC address. Destination MAC address, this is a broadcast addressing requiring all internet and ICs on the LAN to accept the process of the ARP request. The source MAC address is the sender of the ARP request MAC address, while the type ARP messages have a type of field of 0 times 8016. This informs the receiving NIC that the date of the portion of frame needs to pass the ARP process. So for the sender's IPv4 address, this is the IPv4 address of the sender. So while the sender's MAC address, this is the MAC address of the sender, the MAC address needed by the sender of the ARP request. So the internet frame using the following header information, these are the destination MAC address, source MAC address, and the type. So for our destination MAC address, this is the MAC address of the sender of the ARP request, while the source MAC address is the sender of the ARP replies MAC address. So for a type, ARP messages of a type of field of 0 times 806. So for our ARP broadcast, as a broadcast frame, an ARP request is received and processed by every device on the local network. A typical business network, this broadcast would probably have a minimal impact on the network performance. So those are the meaning for ARP broadcast. So now we have the ARP spoofing. The use of ARP can lead to a potential security risk known as the ARP spoofing or the ARP poisoning. This is a technique used by an attacker to reply an ARP request for an IPv4 address belonging to another device such as the default gateway as shown in the figure. So that's it for our chapter 5 summary. So let's proceed for another block for the summarized form and for the activity for our chapter 5. So that's all. Bye.